Hello and welcome to another episode of On Your Mark. Today's arc is Fear Incarnate, number 522392 by Solus. This is a 5-mission heroic arc from levels 45 to 50. This is kind of a time-traveling arc, although it's not actually coming from Ouroboros. My contact today is Mirror Spirit, who's a great character that's underused in-game, so I don't really know too much about her, but that's really great because she doesn't have a set personality that you're forced to use. This arc is more or less a character study on Statesman. Most people consider him the least interesting member of the Freedom Phalanx next to maybe Citadel, but this arc does a really good job of making him feel more like a person than just a figurehead. We start off with the first mission, set during 1934, and you get to see Statesman during an early, seemingly rather common mission, taking out some random family thugs with Maiden Justice. I like the designs on both Classic Statesman and Maiden Justice, but the enemy you're fighting has no real connection to Statesman or game lore or anything that I could tell. I'd like to see something more out of it. On one hand, I do like the fact that it's a small-time mission, but nothing really happens that makes it stand out. And moving on to the second mission has the old Freedom Phalanx from the 40s taking on Captain Burkholder, back when he was still with the 5th Column. This feels like a much nicer tie-in to game lore than the first mission. I also think it's interesting that just before this one, I played another arc that had me recruiting the old Freedom Phalanx to take on Nemesis during Brass Monday. And even though this mission had a whole lot of allies by the end, it had a lot of fun dialogue, and it was interesting to see how some of the lesser-known characters were designed and portrayed. The third mission is the first of the 2 non-combat missions in this arc. It's a fairly simple scene, but I liked how it was handled. It's just Statesman and Sister Psyche alone on an empty graveyard map, with just a couple simple lines of dialogue and a clue each. The fourth mission is the biggest mission of the entire arc. It's set during the first Richti invasion and is in the destroyed Atlas Park map. This is a pretty great battle map with Richti and Vanguard all over the place. There was a lot of stuff going on in this mission with all the battles and rescues. It really felt like a battle scene. And the final mission takes place on the Vanguard base map, with Statesman dealing with the repercussions of what happened to Hero 1 after the Lady Grey Task Force. This was another non-combat mission with a few more objectives than Mission 3, but I still liked what I saw here. I really enjoyed this arc. I never cared much for Statesman before playing this, but this arc made him seem a lot more interesting. I'm always a sucker for well-done non-combat missions, and this has 2 of them. The third mission is an extremely simple and sparse mission. It does exactly what it needs to. I think the only thing that could really use some work is Mirror Spirit's dialogue. She's written as very cryptic and lyrical, but it often makes it read very awkward, and it can be hard to follow in places. But be sure to check this arc out. Until next time.
Who wants to fight like a man for what's right night and day?
Go, Statesman, go! Woo!